Hey y'all, my first guest on my channel is none other than Finn Edwards, lead vocalist of pop punk band Dangerbox, plays in Razorvoice, also in Red Lenses, also helping local venues like the Globe in Nanaimo. I'm so proud to present my interview with Finn Edwards. Welcome to my first interview on Kyle's Mixtape with Finn Edwards, famously from Dangerbox and Razorvoice, and playing also in Red Lenses. Is that correct?
Yeah, how's it going?
So
Thanks for
good.
having me on, Kyle.
Yeah, stoked you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry, I'm got stuff in the middle of my face. Perfect. Okay. So there's going to be technical issues, but we're going to work through them because, that's what we do in the music scene.
Of course, yeah.
My first question would be, how would you describe the music scene on Vancouver Island?
Oh, that's a great one. Well, I would say it's like a super tight-knit community considering how many amazing bands there are here. It's weird. It's like it's a small island, right? Like most bands aren't touring out here 90% of the time. And there's not that many venues or anything, but the fact that we've been able to cultivate such a like huge scene, like there's shows that you'll have like 200, 300 people coming up to see local bands nowadays. It's insane, like it's been building so much over the past year that we've just had, there's been this explosion of bands, especially in Victoria. Nanaimo is really cool, but right now in Victoria, there's so many sweet bands coming out. It's great. It's a good scene.
Yeah, and even like you Hewlett and Port
Mhm.
Alberni, like
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, I'm really proud of this island, and that's part of the reason why I
Mhm.
wanted to start this YouTube channel
Yep.
was to promote local bands and cross Canada and everything like that, but really focus on our friends in the scene here. So heck yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of wild. Like it's the amount of just great talent to come out of such a weird place like Vancouver Island is nuts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Um, as a fan of your band,
Mhm.
you all are very like strong personalities and everything like that. And I always thought that it would be such a good time to create with y'all. So I'm curious, what is the writing process for Dangerbox?
Um, right now it always changes, but I would say right now someone will bring a demo or the rough idea of a song, and then we'll get together in a room, the four of us, and kind of write until the song is done. Everyone puts their own ideas towards it and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes someone will come with a full song that's completely finished, but it sort of depends on the style we're trying to go through. Recently, we've been trying to have as much collaboration as we can, have everyone's writing input, everyone's voice in on a song because we have four people who can sing. So
Yeah,
I'd say just four people together in a room, we have a skeleton of a song, then we work on it till it's done.
yeah. Yeah, I always thought that was cool with your live show because like there's times not to give away anything or anything like that, but like the fact that you and the drummer, Todson would like switch positions and you'll drum
Yeah,
sometimes and like
yeah,
that's so cool. That's
yeah.
such a cool dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, we love doing that. We've done that since our first show when it was just three of us. We had Cameron playing drums and I was playing guitar, and then we'd switch off and he'd play guitar.
Yeah.
And so when we got Toddson in the band playing drums, we just kept on doing it. And it's been the same songs too. Like we just those, whatever 3 songs we do it. We've been doing those songs basically since we were like 16. So and it's always fun. And there's not enough bands doing it nowadays. The only one I can think of is maybe like Sloan or something like that.
Yeah, it always adds something special to the show. So
Mhm.
I always get stoked when I see that. So that's rad.
For sure. Yeah, it's fun. I don't practice drums. It's literally the only time I sit behind a drum kit now is just for those songs. So I'm great at playing those, but anything else, I'll have to fumble my way through.
Yeah, no blast beats in the future, eh?
No,
No double dip.
no, not. I don't think so.
Hell yeah. Um, as a younger band, you guys have really conquered a lot that people even your senior really aspire to. Like, I'm so proud of you guys.
Mhm.
From releasing albums on your own to like working with Bob Rock to
Mhm.
touring Canada. Like you can
Mhm.
say that all and everything like that. I'm freaking so stoked for all of you guys.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for people, on our level, to make these things happen? Because as far as I know, you're all grassroots.
Um, I mean, like, it's hard to say, but like the advice I always tell people is just keep making music, keep writing, keep playing shows,
Mhm.
um, and keep a group of people in your band that's dedicated to doing that with you. If you have 3 to 4, or if you're two-piece band, maybe it's just two people. However many people that are dedicated to their craft and making it happen,
Mhm.
and you can keep working at it, then it's gonna work out, one way or another. Like, not everyone's gonna be like a big famous band. Like, I don't know. It's just you just need to keep working until you get to a place where, like, wow, we're proud of what we've done. And for us, we never thought that we'd make it to the other side of the country, you know, and definitely never thought we'd make it back from the other side of the country. So it's
That,
yeah,
that
just
was
keep doing it.
a debacle in itself, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't even say I'd recommend that everyone that everyone go and tour Canada.
Well, you did
Sorry,
it
my
in the right
dog's
time. I've
going
heard
through
of
the
bands
background.
doing it in the dead of winter, and I can't imagine being in a van in like
No,
no.
no, that sounds terrible. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I get it. Sorry, I'm gonna let my dog out one
Yeah,
second.
no worries.
All right, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, it's definitely one thing that we're not planning on doing anytime soon is going anywhere outside of BC in the middle of winter. Maybe flying out to Alberta for some shows or something, or Ontario, but do not recommend doing it outside of spring, summer, and fall. It's just not a good idea.
Right. I saw that 10 Second Epic is doing a, reunion show, and
Yeah,
even now I'm like I can't drive out there in the winter.
I got tickets
They're
to
one of my
the
favorite
first day.
bands, but like I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Well, I'm gonna be flying out with Alex, who plays bass. He's my boyfriend. He's sitting back here right now. We're gonna be flying out for those shows, so I'm super fucking stoked for that. That's gonna be dope.
Please get some video for me because, as I
I
said, like
will. Yes.
they were one of the bands that like made me want to play shows. Like I think
Yeah.
they were my first actual concert. So like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They're one of those bands that like had a disproportionately high level of influence among Danger Box, because I showed that band to Toddson and Larry, who was our first bass player,
yeah,
and they both absolutely fell in love with their first album. Cameron's more the like metal rap kind of guy, so he's not as into them. But
yeah.
I just remember going on drives with Toddson and stuff like that, and we just listened to that album every single time. Such a good album, man. Huge influence.
I remember them touring and stopping by Port Alberni, and
Yeah.
I had this
Oh
little like
wow.
a child's classical guitar and everything, and this is like teenager me. I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get this guitar signed by the guys from 10 Second Epic, and like just like big scared shitless, just like
Yeah.
approaching them and stuff. It was probably the dorkiest thing, but
Mm.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
I have it still at my mom's house. So
That's wild. To think Port Alberni back in the day was having like bands like that roll through is so cool. I mean,
we
it's a
have like,
tough scene these days, man.
yeah,
We need people who live in Port Alberni start bands, man.
yeah.
You gotta start that scene back up.
Yeah, my buddy Dustin, who Dustin
Mhm.
and his brother Cody, who played in My
Mhm.
Broken Hero, um,
Oh, right
they
on,
they oh, you got them on your shelf there?
dude. I was just thinking about that. My
Oh
Broken
man,
Hero.
so
Those guys
classic.
fucking rule. Yeah, they're
Uh,
dope.
they kind of like ran the only all age venue at the time when I
Mhm.
was a kid there, and like
Right.
honestly, like they shaped who I am as a musician because of all these
Mhm.
bands they brought through and everything like
Right.
that. So
That's
shout
so
out to the
sweet.
academy, shout out to the dames and everything, and yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny how the island's just one of those places where like there's a lot of smaller towns here or cities here,
Mhm.
and there's just like one or two people keeping the scene alive. Even like Victoria, like there's times where it'll die down for a couple months, and then one band will come up and they'll just start playing all the time, and it'll be huge. Like right now, the Quadra House in Victoria
Oh yeah.
has been hosting like crazy shows. They just had a show with the Noids from California the same night that Mad Caddies played with you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that must have been tough playing the same night as Mad Caddies. They're like, no, it was packed, like completely packed out. So
It doesn't
Victoria
always
is
work
just,
out that way, but when it does,
yeah,
it's freaking
yeah,
awesome. Shout out to
yeah,
Ryland too for keeping that alive.
yeah.
Because like, yeah,
So cool.
yeah.
There's a huge need for like DIY house venues in Canada in general. It's such a important thing for bands touring. You know, that's where we always look to when we're booking shows. We don't look to play like big venues or anything like that. We're just like, whose house can we play at, or whose backyard, or stuff like that. Basement shows. Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Something that in music that I've been struggling with. At first, I was scared
Mm-hmm.
shitless, and now
Yeah.
I'm kind of growing to find a acceptance in and find my own way around it. Is
Yeah.
AI creeping into
Oh, yeah.
music and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of a touchy subject, whichever
Oh,
way
for
you
sure.
lean on it or whatever. But I'm curious
Yeah.
about your opinion on it.
Well, I mean, for me, the thing is like, I think profiting off of AI music is a really, really weird thing. Like,
Mhm.
I totally understand that some people have a hard time writing lyrics and stuff like that, and they'll put their words into ChatGPT or something, and it'll help rewrite. Like, I get stuff like that, but it's so scary to me that there's bands that are completely AI going up on Spotify and getting thousands and thousands or even millions of streams. Like, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
But I also know that like the reality of the situation is people love music because of the human element to it.
Mhm.
And there's certain things with music that I don't think a computer will ever be able to replicate.
Yeah.
So, I think like it's easy to have the fear right now of like, oh, AI is gonna take over music, but like, AI, you're not gonna have AI going and playing live in your city, whatever. Like I think for now we're pretty future proofed as musicians in terms of the demand for having people who play and write songs.
No, I'm 100% with you there. And that's kind of what I mean by my opinion from the start of like,
Yeah.
oh man, the robots are taking over to now where
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, they can't do a scissor kick yet on stage or jump
No,
into the
yeah,
crowd or anything
exactly.
like
Yeah.
that. I'm talking like it's a human, but like, yeah. Yeah,
When we
exactly.
see like robots stage diving into the crowd or like yeah, exactly, doing like posy jumps on stage with their guitars, then you know what, they've earned it. All right,
Yeah.
I'll bow down to my overlords if they can do that. But until then, I think we're chilling on that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm with you too about like profiting on the artwork and everything like that. I
Yeah.
saw, I don't
Yeah.
know if it was fake or not, but whatever. That art festival, like a painting festival or whatever, some guy brought an AI artwork or
Right.
whatever and got kicked out because like he's like trying to sell all these paintings that were just printed by AI or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know.
At an art festival, that's definitely weird for sure. I mean,
It's a weird flex.
I think like, especially like I don't want to like judge other
No.
bands or whatever, but like for us, we've always been huge about getting real artists to do stuff, and like paying money for it too, unless someone offers to do it for free.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is someone will always offer to do something for your band if you're looking for artwork. Like the other month, my friend Rex came to me like, oh, I love your song Clocking In, I want to do the single artwork for it. And we're like, sure. And then they sent an image, and that's what we have on our Spotify, and they just did it because they wanted to be a part of the music and stuff like that. So
Amazing.
I think for us it's just a big thing supporting artists, and I love visual art. I think it's one of the coolest mediums, and I like to support people doing that because a lot of people are out there trying to just make a couple extra bucks on commissions, and I'm about supporting that, especially for show posters and stuff too. Like
100%.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
super
so
bad.
easy to enter in a prompt or whatever, but like to have somebody take the time to like, oh, what's this show about? Who are the bands
Yeah,
on it? Let's kind of
yeah,
gear towards that. Like That's a skill that I hope doesn't die away, because
No, absolutely, yeah.
it's so ingrained in our culture for like punk
Mhm.
rock and
Oh,
hardcore and
absolutely.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, like, there's like I feel like especially on the island right now, we just have so many talented artists. You might as well make use of it. Like even like Stu from your band, he makes amazing graphics. Like,
Yeah.
if you want like cool shirt designs and whatnot, like he's the man. So I feel
I
like we're
tell you
never
right
gonna
now,
see.
we wouldn't be selling as much merch as we have if we didn't have Stu in the band. Like, he's so good at
Yeah,
what he does.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having, and that's like us with Alex. He's made our ghost T-shirts that sell like hotcakes at shows. Like
Okay.
it's I think it's just really cool that the way that punk rock is it's very connected to like different types of mediums. It's hugely connected to visual art because when punk first started, you had people hand drawing flyers and putting them out, or even like hand drawing the inserts for tapes and stuff like that. And I think it's cool that we can kind of help keep that alive a little bit.
Absolutely. It's so important. And I know that things evolve and change and everything, but I think it's so important to us to keep it in our roots and everything like that. And, support artists supporting each other and everything like that it's what it's
Mhm.
all about. We don't
For
have
sure.
Sony knocking on the door anytime soon. So, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool. So as somebody who's traveled the country now,
Mhm.
I'm curious, do you have any great stories you want to share with everybody? And also, what is your favorite venues that you've got to experience?
Well, I'll say, I mean, we have some insane stories. We have two full documentaries in the works, one from our tour last year and one from this year. And I think, without going into too much detail, I think this year is going to be the one that's more interesting. We did end up getting our van was impounded. We got stuck in Toronto for 2 weeks, so that I would say is easily the craziest story. Um, but it's so hard. Like to pick one story to go with is insane. I think for me, one of my favorites was like um, out in Toronto. We were playing with Conversation, who's originally from Victoria, back in the day, and we were helping them unload some gear at their practice space. And Todson pulls like a fucking leech out of his nose, or like it was either that or like a really big blood clot.
Oh,
And he was just like, "Guys, what the hell is going on?" Um, he wasn't sure. Like he went swimming in Lake Superior a few days before to do a cold plunge.
yeah, amazing.
And he wasn't sure if he had like had a leech swim up his nose or if he was just sick and had like a nosebleed. But it was terrifying. Like that was a good one. There's a lot of like there's a lot of like battling over sleeping arrangements and stuff like that. I
There
know
always
that.
is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like Dodson and our old bassist David would literally be wrestling over who gets to sleep on like a shitty couch. Um, but and also, nights where we'd be sleeping upright, the four of us in a van. Like there's just, yeah, there's too many crazy stories from touring. But I will say my absolute favorite places we've ever played on tour was last year. We played in Prince George at the Amaneka Art Center, I think it's called, or Amanika, one of the two, with a band called Infectious, and it was insane. There was like 150 kids there, and it just went off. It was like one of the best shows we've ever had, and it was the first show we had ever played on tour, so that was gnarly. There's in Winnipeg, we played a backyard party that our friend Adrian put on along with a bunch of our other friends from the Winnipeg scene. And it was like super packed. There was a bunch of great bands. That was one of my favorite places we've ever played. And then I would say the Dog Pit in London, Ontario, which is a house run by Rare Candies, which is like a rap group, but they put on bands and they're so cool. They're the coolest people ever. Like
Yeah.
that place is so sick. To any touring band, and I know a lot of the island people are already going out there. I know Mean Bikini's going there, Vogue Villains, but to any island person wanting to book a show in Ontario, definitely go book the Dog Pit in London. It's so sweet.
Shout out. That's awesome. Heck yeah.
Like,
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I'll probably put that on our list too, because
yeah,
we definitely want to make our way out there for sure.
so cool. It's so sick.
Um, So I'm gonna do a couple quick fire ones here. What was your first local show that you saw?
Ooh, well, um, in Vancouver, I grew up in Vancouver, and there was a show. It was a Halloween cover show, and the band Open Letters, who was a like an emo pop punk emo kind of band from the time, was playing a cover set of Blink 182.
Amazing.
And I went. I was like super young, and I went to that show. It was a place called 333 Clark, which is now gone. It's been gone for a while,
I've
and
heard
it
of
just
but
like blew my mind. It was so cool, and I since then, that kind of inspired me to want to like, play in a band and sort of like go and play my own shows. But then by the time I got to start a band, it was COVID, so we didn't really get to do it. But the first like local show in Nanaimo that I went to was just our first show that we played. Or there was something. There was a band playing downtown at Maffeo Sutton Park once called Space Disco. They're like an indie band. And we went to like me and Cameron went to that show and met those guys. But that was like the first Nanaimo show we went to, and then we played in 2021. Did a show at our high school, and that was my first like real local show that I did.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
It's funny how those first shows, like first handful of shows, really like get ingrained in you because, like,
Yeah,
honestly,
for sure.
I like I was saying that first 10-second Epic show that I went to,
Yeah,
I can still smell the grime on that venue and like,
yeah, for sure.
I can still like remember
Mhm.
exactly who was in the pit. Like you might rubbing
Yeah,
into my
for
buddy's
sure.
face, and he's like a big dude, and like feeling so warm and cuddly because I just ran into him in the mosh pit and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so dope. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so cool. Like, I mean, for me, like that moment was when the band Set It Off played Vancouver. It was like 2020 or something like that with Capstan,
Oh, cool.
who's like, in my opinion, the best live act ever. But I went to that show, and it was before any of those bands had blown up, and it was above the Biltmore at their like smaller hall that they rent out. And that was the first like packed local show that I ever went to, where it was like sold out and like no barricade. People were stage diving and moshing. I was like, yeah, this is so fucking cool.
Is that the
And
one
I
where you shared the photo of your nose just like completely busted and you
yo,
look like
oh
Andrew
my god,
WK?
that one was great. That was at the Bullet Farm in Vancouver. We'd played a few shows. I'd been going to like a bunch of local shows by then, but it was with the band Rest Easy, which is members of Daggermouth and Shook Ones, other like melodic hardcore bands like that.
Right.
And I went to go see them, and there was a bunch of hardcore bands playing, and I was kind of chilling off to the side, and some dude just like socked me in the face, and I was like, oh shit. But I took it well, like I wasn't. I knew what the shows were about at that time, so I wasn't too worried. But I did end up getting like permanent nose damage that ended up like clogging one side of my nose, and it ended up helping me sing better because I'm singing from my nasal passage now. So I think it was worth it.
Oh, I remember the context of that photo that
Yeah,
you shared and everything
yeah,
like that, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, like you got a sweet photo out of it too. Like
yeah.
credit
That's a
to
great photo. Yeah, I love it. I'm wearing like my Comeback Kid long sleeve too. Like
yeah.
I think I was like 16 at the time. It was the coolest night of my fucking life. It was so cool. I have really fond memories of that show.
If you ever do a solo album, you should use that as the cover art because that'd be sick.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would. That's so good.
That's so rad.
Mhm.
What is your favorite piece of gear that you have?
Ooh, I'm not a gear guy. I really like. I've been rolling with the same setup since our first show. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've had the same. I have a white Epiphone guitar that I've used since the first show, and a Boss Katana amp that my parents got me. But my favorite piece of gear is my Epiphone Les Paul. It's got all my stickers I've collected over the years on it. I've written like every song I've ever written on it, and when we were in Quebec, I dropped it on stage and the headstock broke off. So I haven't gotten it fixed yet, but I'm going to be soon. Morgan from the Core offered to fix it up for me, so hopefully it'll be rocking again. That's definitely my favorite piece of gear. Either that or like I don't know. I have a melodica. That's pretty cool. I never use it,
That's
but
pretty sick though.
that's what Gorillaz recorded that one song on. So if I ever wanted to use that, then
Oh,
I could.
Queen Eastwood, the
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have one of those, and I feel like I should use it more.
Heck yeah, I expect it on the next EP. Which
Mhm.
great
I just have
segue.
no gear. I need to get more gear.
To tell you the truth, it's overrated. I wish that I could just stick with my first amp and my first
Yeah.
guitar. Unfortunately, my
Mhm.
first amp and my first guitar were complete crap. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, like the Line 6 Spider and like a beginner Fender Strat comma or Squire Strat, whatever.
No, I had a PV. I think it was a PV Viper. My mom bought
Oh my
it.
god! Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've used those before.
Oh God! So like, my mom got it for me for Christmas, and thank you, Mom, for sure for doing that. But like,
Yeah,
it was the worst. Like, it was a modeling amp, but all
yeah,
the models were just complete garbage. Like, oh, it's
yeah,
the like worst version of a Marshall. It's the
yeah.
worst
I
version
think
of,
my high school had one of those
yeah.
around because I distinctly remember using it, and there was like one tone that was like British, and then one tone that was called like heavy metal.
Yeah.
And you could never get it to sound like you could get it sound okay on like clean, but it was just it was brutal.
Well,
Fun to mess
eventually
around
that's
with
what
though.
I set it to. I set it to clean, and then hoped my pedals sounded somewhat all right
Mhm.
through it.
Exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of albums, you have a
Hmm.
new EP coming out, the Reality
Yes.
EP, and it's going to be out
Hmm.
on October 24th, and you're
Hmm.
going to be selling physical copies at your
Yeah.
October 18th show in Victoria.
Yeah. Yes, we're so stoked. So we've put out a bunch of EPs, but they're really demos, that we recorded ourselves over the years. And we wanted for the first proper release that we did to really go all out with it. We recorded it earlier this year before we left for tour. We just couldn't get it finished by the tour, unfortunately. But it was mixed by Ben Whitrock, who plays in a band with me called Razorvoice. And he's like the mastermind behind that band. He's so talented and he's amazing at mixing, amazing at mastering. So he did all the mixes. They're sounding great. And yeah, it's supposed to be coming out October 24th. Hopefully we can stick to that release date. We've got a big show the next night, and we've got shows all around those 2 weeks. We've got a bunch of Halloween themed shows.
Mhm.
And we're going to start selling physical copies basically as soon as we get the masters back, which should just be in a couple days now. So yeah, it'll be out before Halloween. And it sounds unlike anything we've ever done. It just sounds like an actual production went into it,
I'm so stoked to hear it because, yeah, I mean, like, I love all the stuff you have recorded, but I imagine having like that producer's ear
Yeah.
on it and everything is just going to bring it out so much.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's having an actual mix of a song that doesn't sound just like crap is nice. I love the DIY feel
yeah.
Of the old records, but this is just it's so much of a step above. And if you've heard the singles we've put out, it's kind of just more of that. And it sounds unreal. It sounds really great.
Amazing. I'm gonna have all the shows that you come up with your Halloween tour and the link, or sorry, in the description down below there. So, but to reiterate, it's October 18th in Victoria, October 23rd in Duncan, October 25th in Nanaimo, and October 26th in Cumberland. I'll have all the venues and everything down in the description if anyone wants to check it out. To end these, I kind of want to pay it forward and just talk about some other bands in the scene. I want to hear who are some of your favorite bands that might be coming up right now that need a shout out, or like any bands that you might have toured with in Canada, or the mic's yours. Who do you want to shout out right now?
Oh, well, I would say like one band I'm super stoked about right now is Naa from Victoria. They're a super young band. They're like 17. We've been playing shows with them since a couple of years ago. They were like, extremely young. They're in a band called The Chain, and they've had some member lineup change stuff happening. They have a new singer, and they played at the Globe in Nanaimo, which is a venue that I work at, and it is just they're insane. They're one of the best bands out right now. Whenever they get around to releasing music, I think they're gonna blow up. They're super cool. shout out to our friends Conversation in Toronto. We love playing shows with those guys. We played with them in Ontario, and they played with us in BC. Super sick. Shout out to Couriers, who are from Winnipeg, a great hardcore band from out there. Who else? I mean, from like Vancouver Island, definitely shout out Smash TV,
Yeah.
Gorilla Flip, Vogue Villains, and of course Dead Rights. And like, there's just too many to list.
I
There's
know,
too many good bands.
It's a very on the spot question, and you know, I'm gonna make sure I put everybody's band camps and everything,
Yeah.
including yours, down in the description as well. So if anybody wants to check these guys out and maybe like financially support them, because music's hard, not getting any support. So yeah, I'm gonna throw band camps down and below and everything for sure.
And Poor Sport is sick.
Oh, yeah.
I love those guys. I've been jamming them all week. They're so dope.
I've only heard them, but I haven't had a chance to go to a show yet, but I'm definitely going to check them out.
They're the best. They're really rad.
Cool. Well, this was great. Thank you for being episode number 1. Is there
Thanks for having me.
anything you would like to plug of your own? I know you're in 3 million bands, so like
yeah, check out Danger Box Band on Instagram. Check out Razorvoice on Instagram and Red Lenses Band on Instagram. And if you're ever in Nanaimo, come check out a show at the Globe Live Studio. We have basically music every single weekend, sometimes during the week too. Friday, Saturday, most of the time, sometimes Thursdays and Sundays as well. And go out and support your local music scene. Go to shows, meet friends, start a band, because it's a lot of fun. But also, don't let it get in the way of your schools and stuff like that. Don't be like me. And don't go too much over the speed limit when you're on tour in Ontario.
I can't wait for that documentary. I can't wait. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Me too, man. It's going to be a wild one.
Well, thank you again, Finn. And maybe we can do episode 100 when we get there and kind of rehash this. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Thanks for talking to me.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you on the road. See you later, man.
See ya. Bye-bye.